welcome into your spooky season reading. So here in this video, what we're going to do is sort of summon in your spirit guide or guides and see what they want to tell you today. So this is in relation to Samhain, Halloween, Day of the Dead, whatever it is that you subscribe to, that you believe in. So I'm calling it spooky season. And basically, we're going to ask Spirit a few questions and see where it goes. Okay, so we're going to start off with seeing which Spirit is coming through for you today, taking a look at your current situation that they're helping you through, what they want you to focus on, how they're helping you through it. And then we're going to get a message from Spirit. What do they really want you to know? Could be related to this reading or not. And then at the end, we're going to pull a couple of Halloween, Samhain cards to see how you can work with the elements or how you can work with this season in a more witchcrafty, intentional way if you choose to do that. All right, so let's get started. First card out, we're going to ask which spirit is coming through for you today. All right, we're focusing on the Taurus energy. Spirit, who is coming through for the Taurus group that I'm picking up on today, please? Which spirit, spirit guide, ancestor, deity are we picking up on for the Taurus group? Who's coming through? Ooh, interesting. Seven of Swords. Honestly, I don't feel like it is one specific spirit. I feel this is a little team of energies, entities that really work together and help you through your situation. I'm also getting something about them being tired, Taurus. All right, like you have one main one that's leading the group, and the group themselves are doing so much work. There's the one that is strategizing and sort of telling the different other entities, like, be here at this time, right? Show the Taurus this at this time, or like it's like a group effort. And there's something about them just being tired. And I don't know, and this is no offense, I'm the number one fan of the Taurus, okay? But I don't know if this has to do with like your stubborn energy and this spirit team trying to get your attention and you not listening or acknowledging what's happening. Okay, this spirit team trying to put you on a specific path and you being really resistant and unwilling. Okay, spirit is always going to help us do what's best for us. And in my opinion, I don't think that it's like a never-ending thing, right? Like no matter what, they're going, the energy of spirit, the energy of the universe, like however you want to see this, that it's never ending. Like if they, spirit, universe, source, your ancestors, God, goddess, it's always going to be there with us, helping us through and getting us through situations and guiding us through this life. So I'm not saying that like they're giving up. I'm just feeling that they're very tired. It's almost like there's always a way for them, or like a reason for them to put a strategy together. Okay, there's always like, because I think it's so hard to get your attention. It's so hard to help you really see things that they have to put strategies together in order for it to be like impactful enough for you to take the message and do something with it. Okay. I'm getting for many of you, this is like an audio thing, like where you hear stuff. Okay. You may think that you're talking to yourself, or you may think that these are just thoughts, but I do feel that sometimes you tend to hear a voice or a whisper come through. And it could also come into forms of like nature sounds as well. You know, maybe in silence, like there's always some sort of sound that comes through and it's just like, whoa, did you hear that type of thing? Music, right? Different types of music may have messages for you. And this is like one of the main ways that this spirit team gets your attention is through hearing, the sense of hearing and noise and audio in some way. Okay, so if you find yourself coming like in these types of situations, this could be an indicator that your spirit team is trying to get your attention. All right. But yeah, I mean, they definitely do feel a little tired. And maybe you're tired, you know. This could also be a thing. All right. So now we're going into what your current situation is. And you have the 7 of Wands, another 7, the 2 of Pentacles. So it looks as though there are definitely some blockages. Ooh, another 7 of Swords, huh? Birds, feathers, bird noises could also be an indication of spirit here. They're trying to help you put a strategy together. Okay, for some reason, for the sake of love, for some of you, you want help in the love department, maybe. Okay. But I think that there could be a lot of focus on strategy and trying to get your way in a current relationship dynamic, that you're failing to see like what you should really be focused on, which in this case is dropping your guard and dropping the walls and really making a final decision as to whether or not you want to move forward or you want to be in a specific relationship dynamic or a relationship at all. All right. I feel like the Taurus I'm picking up on today, your spirit team is trying to push you into being like connecting with another person romantically or, you know, soul to soul connection. And I think that they've been pushing for this for quite a while. But you have your guard up super tight and the door is locked shut. Okay. This could be a reason why I feel like they're tired, because they're trying to bang down this door, this wall, you know, and get through. And it's not working. Okay. Because you haven't really made a decision yet, like a final decision. You may say to people, or you may say to yourself, or you may feel like you would want to be in a relationship dynamic, but I don't think that's very true. Okay. I don't think that you have really made a final decision on that. And so when you do meet people or when you do come into contact or get to know people or whatever, there's always a little bit of game playing. There's always a little bit of escapism and trying to get out of it or to run away, or the cat and mouse type of energy, right? Like run away to see if they're going to go after you, which is definitely a trauma-based type of mechanism that is not conducive to a really healthy relationship. Okay, so if you're doing that and you find yourself in these like trauma behavior type of things where you are subconsciously, even consciously at times, playing games in relationship situations, I mean, you have to focus on that stuff before you could even think about having a healthy relationship. And I just don't think you want to go there. I don't think you want to open the door to healing, because when you open the door to heal, you're trauma dumping, right? Like you're going to vomit out all of this trauma. You're going to face it again. You're going to relive it in certain ways. And maybe you just don't want to deal with that. So you're locking it up and you think that you can compartmentalize it, and just ignore it and move on. And you probably can, and you probably have done that for so long, but there is a 2 of Cups here, meaning that there's an opportunity and spirit might be pushing a 2 of Cups person into your life. And maybe you just don't see that coming, All right, so that's the current situation. What does Spirit want you to focus on that's best for you at this time? What does Spirit want to tell Taurus that they need to focus on for their best self, for their highest good? Four of Swords. Healing. How do we know? Of course, this was going to come up. Also, healing in the form of noise, vibrations, sound healing. Okay? Might do very well for you, Taurus. Like if you put on some of this type of noise or music, like I know YouTube has a lot of them. Spotify, man, you don't know how much that helps. Meditating, going into guided meditations, guided hypnosis, and really you can do a lot of trauma healing unconsciously, where you don't even have to face so much of it consciously. You can do it while you are in trance even. All right, if you don't want to face these things head on. One more. What does Spirit want the Taurus to focus on? But essentially, regardless of like what modality you're using to heal, they just want you to heal. Power of over difficulty, reclaiming your power. Yeah. If you are closed off and you're putting up this wall and this blockage, how the heck do you think that you're going to be able to sit strong and become like, how can I say, like create this version of yourself, like who you really are, not just a version of yourself, but essentially who you are in particular, you can't open up, like I'm feeling like there's a lack of depth here. Like maybe when you are connecting with people, maybe it doesn't last, or they find it really difficult to connect with you because you don't show them you don't open up, right? Like, and I'm not saying that it's very superficial. It could be, okay? It could be superficial. I mean, that's like a shadow side of the Venusian energy, which you're ruled by. But in this case, I'm not even seeing that. I'm just seeing more like guarded, like when it comes for time to like people to get to know you or ask you questions, like maybe you give a good enough answer, but nothing that is showing the human side. And when we show the human side, we show flaws, we show our scars and the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly, right? Like these types of things are what makes us unique and perfect in our own imperfections. And when we connect with others and we are able to show these darker or uglier sides of us, it helps the connection more, right? Because the other person can drop their own guard and feel like, oh, okay, they're only human just like me, right? They have scars just like I do. They've made mistakes just like I have. They feel, guilty, and they have fears and regrets, right? Just like I do. If you're showing just the perfection and the perfect side of yourself, there's really not a lot of connection there, right? So something to think about. But I don't know. I would just say like face some of these traumas, face some of these reasons why you're blocking connection here, and overcome. Okay, Spirit wants you to really focus on that, like overcoming the tragedy, overcoming the trauma, in some way. It's not like if it didn't happen. When I say overcoming, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It means acceptance. Really. It means acceptance. And forgiveness of oneself, forgiveness of the others, understanding that life happens and there's no explanation sometimes. You know, if this has to do with like childhood trauma, there's no explanation for why your caregivers treated you the way they did. If this has to do with someone you really cared for passing away, there's no explanation for why the universe chose them to pass away at that time, right? Like accepting that there's no answers and forgiving yourself, forgiving them, forgiving the universe, and being able to live with it and power through it. Okay, where are we going next? How is spirit helping you? What does it look like for this spirit team in particular when they're helping you? I already said that there's things that come through audio. What is the right word for that? Through sound. Oh, King of Swords. Six of Wands. How does spirit help you? I mean, I do think that for the Taurus I'm picking up on who has this spirit team working for them, there's a lot of moments where they help you overcome. Okay, there could be moments where you find yourself in a really bad situation, or you don't know how you're going to get what you need. You don't know how you're going to get past a certain phase of life. You don't know how you're going to work something out, right? These moments where things just feel like there's no hope or there's no way out. And then this spirit team gets to work and they're like, okay, I'm going to go this way, right? You talk to the right person, you come across a certain resource, or, somebody gives you advice, or, you just stumble upon an opportunity in some way that help you through. And they also help you by showing you how to stay really logical and practical in situations where maybe chaos comes through. Okay, maybe you find yourself in these moments or around people who bring drama, who bring toxicity, who bring chaos or distraction. And as you are in these moments, spirit tries to help you stay practical and logical and clear-headed about your current situation, not get so stressed out, not get so fearful, and not so anxious. Okay, so they're helping you mentally, but at the same time, they provide you with being at the right place at the right time, helping you overcome low moments, helping you overcome hard moments. Okay. And it just feels like maybe for some of you, it's like the relationship provides you with these chaotic, hard moments. For others of you, maybe your decision making and the lack of making a final decision puts you in these hard moments, right? Like procrastinating or not taking action. And the next thing you know, you're overwhelmed because so much is on your plate. So these moments that are self-inflicted at the same time, and then it's almost as though this team sort of scatters about and cleans it up in certain ways. All right. But I can't get over the fact that the healing part of this is really important. Maybe seeing like a spiritual advisor, going to see a therapist, expressing it and vocalizing it, sharing your experiences, and just knowing like you're loved, you're worth it, you're powerful, you're a child of this earth, you know, like you matter, and feeling that and rebuilding your confidence here. And I think that by connecting with the right person, you know, first you have to overcome some of this stuff, but then you'll be able to connect with the right person who can also show you how, you know, just by them being who they are, you can get inspired or like see like it is possible to love yourself. Okay, there's something about loving yourself here. All right, what important message, or if spirit could tell you anything, right? Like not just about this situation. If spirit can tell you anything, what would they want to tell you? Leap. Oh, beautiful. You go first. The universe will catch you. Yeah, maybe the Seven of Swords energy is energy of fear. Okay, like leave or be left, hurt or be hurt, you know, because you don't want to, you like the uncertainty of what could happen, you know, maybe that, like the fear of what could happen, just overcomes you to the point where you don't do anything at all, right? And maybe you say to yourself like, I'm not ready, you know, I'll do it when I'm ready or something like that. But it's like, now you're ready. Now you've been ready, Taurus. It feels like that. I feel that you've been ready. You've been ready for a long time. I feel that so strongly. You've been ready for a long time. If you're in a situation you feel you can't get out, like, man, you're ready now. You were ready yesterday, you know? Take the leap. Trust that the universe has your back, that you will always end up where you need to be. Okay, you're always where you're supposed to be. Things more often than not work out. Also, multidimensionality. Okay, the frequency of multidimensionality activates our awareness of our true essence, which is eternal and multidimensional. It's like I said earlier, you're a child of this earth, okay? Like if the plants have the powers, if animals have their animal spirits or whatever, like humans do as well. Like we are powerful. And connecting to this true essence of what you're capable of, that's strong. I don't even think you know what you're capable of, because I don't know if you've really pushed yourself enough. Because there could be this fear of, if I do this, what's going to happen, right? Like the what ifs. You can transform into something super powerful here with this multidimensionality card. For some of you, this is connecting in different dimensions. Maybe some of you have like a really strong spiritual gift where you can move in the other worlds, in the higher dimensions, and move there, right? Like there's something about going to the other side, the 4D, the 5D. There's something about like energetically, vibrationally, your frequency matching these certain frequencies. And whether you know it or not, some of you have this ability to do it more easily than others. All right, so we're looking at how to work with the spirit or the essence of this time of year, of spooky season, of Samhain, Day of the Dead, Halloween. And so some of this stuff could be like witchcraft or just intention work. Okay, so you got number 15, the crafter, which is creativity. Okay, so working with your hands, building something here. I'm getting wood, like building something with wood. And then you have the frog. May the lily beneath your breasts allow you to drink from its healing waters. Be still, for there is serenity behind the drowning croaks. Frogs also have to do with transformation, okay? And in lore, It's a hidden, I'm getting more like a person that you don't really, how can I see, because they could, I'm also getting shapeshifter all of the sudden, but it's like there's an energy around you that seems ugly, that seems dirty, or that seems yucky. But if you see it differently, or you get to know it, and this could be like a version of you, if somebody gets to know it, then they'll be able to see the beauty. Okay. So this is like externally looking, coming across one way, but internally being something super special. But if you want to work with the elements and work with the witchcraft, certain intention work, things like that, building something, shaping it, working with your hands, sawing it, cutting it, smelling it, right? Like going outside. I don't know. It could even be as simple as, what is it? Cutting wood. Okay. But there's something about the wood vibration, and obviously you're an earth sign, that's coming through here. And it's like almost doing it so much to the point where maybe you get into a trance, and there's something about you elevating into a higher dimension here. So maybe like during the night of Halloween, or when the veil is opened, right? The 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of November, even like really doing like a ritual outside alone, and going into some sort of trance, and allowing your higher self or your soul to rise out of body, like doing some sort of out of body work. Okay. And you may get some messages here as well. All right, Taurus. Well, I hope that helps. If it did, click the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hope you enjoyed this video and you got something out of today's reading. Have a wonderful, happy, safe, lovely, spooky season, Halloween, Samhain, Day of the Dead time. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.